What's up, guys? Thank you for clicking on the video. If you are a MaxDIN buyer for C6, or you have ordered one, or you have one you haven't installed yet, you have to watch this video because we are having a major problem with professional shops doing very amateur things. Stick around, you're watching KnightDriveTV.
I always wanted to build fast cars, so self-taught I started with engine swaps, composites in my apartment, to multiple shops, tuning, fabrication, and more. 10 years later, the big time, SEMA, Speed TV, I climbed from nothing, but I lost it all. This is my new ride, KnightDriveTV. Failure is not an option. Us car guys keep banging the gears of life.
So guys, a lot of you have MaxDINs that you have gotten on the Cyber Monday sale, which is today, going on right now until midnight. And so you've only got a little time. If you don't have one and maybe you want one, it's the one chance that I am sacrificing as much as I can to get more people out there to have this and enjoy. Oh, okay, camera fell. It's the one chance for you. Is that a... It's the one chance for those of you out there who couldn't quite swing it to maybe enjoy the unit and hopefully get some promo out there so I can sell some more of these. So you have until midnight. But anyway, if you have one coming, if you participated in that, or if you have one in the box, you're still waiting to install and you're going to a shop, guys, this is a big deal. There are some issues. So let's be clear. There is an install guide on the website, KnightDriveTV.com, under the FAQ section, that you should refer to. It shows all the connections on the back of the unit. It makes things very clear. I know some people have asked for an install video, step-by-step guide. Listen, it's really not even that hard. It comes down to just go online, take off your center console, take out your radio, take out your HVAC, plug into the MaxDIN, and you put it back in. I mean, that's literally how this is designed. Here's the issue that I'm having with people who buy the unit, and some guys call me and they say, look, I'm a little worried about doing this. I don't really work on my car. Those guys are kind of the best installers right now. And the reason is they take their time, they ask questions if they're not sure, they go step by step and they realize it's not a big deal and their unit works fine. There's lots of guys out there who are, just, I don't want to say competent, but I mean, they get the unit, they ask me, hey, where's the guide? I give it to them, and they are fine and it works. Pro shops, huge problem. So first problem with the pro shop is they are gonna be kind of under the radar. How do I say? They're gonna be kind of under the radar salty. Y'all remember that word, salty? They're gonna be salty that you didn't go to them and buy something from their shop. And that's something that they have a markup on, something that they have, and they don't have these. And so they have lost the opportunity to sell you something in a markup. I believe this is where it starts. They say, things under their breath. I've had multiple customers tell me, man, I like this guy, but he immediately had something negative to say about your brand or your product. Well, of course, because he doesn't sell these, and, he wants to sell you something from his wall that he has in stock. So please beware of that. Second thing that happens is they are used to making a universal radio that is not made for any specific car function in your car. And so what that means is they are kind of pre-programmed to automatically be wanting to do all these different things. And one is they're used to things not working right because there are jumper harnesses and there are adapters that you have to buy. And so they're used to stabbing power and doing all kind of crazy, God knows what they're doing that they shouldn't be doing. But anyway, that's what they do. And then in some cases, they need some code to go in so they can get into these settings. They think they have to configure things for your car or change how it turns on or whatever. There's none of that in this because this is made for the C6. They don't need any access. They don't need to be figuring anything out. This is super simple. And so what happens when they start to have a problem, now most customers, if they're a customer and they're installing it and they're at their house, they're in their garage, they're under their oak tree and they're putting this thing in and they don't have like an issue arises that they can't make it work, you know what they do? They email me, they call me. That's not what a pro shop does. The pros, they don't need to do that. What the pros do is they pull out their power supply and they say, I'm gonna start to put power to things that I think will show the customer number one, what a piece of junk this is, and number two, that I can tell them exactly what's wrong with it. And this has happened so many times, and I'm telling you, the problem is they're going to fry your unit, and then you're going to want me to replace it. And I'll be honest with you, I've covered some people on this. I've absorbed this loss, and this is a tremendous loss. I'm going to just accept responsibility for it and say that I'm going to work on having more documentation. I know that's what solves this. I just, inevitably when you go to a pro shop, you're trusting them to be smarter than you, professional, to know better. And so that shouldn't be happening. That two professionals, whether I build it and design it and collaborate and get this unit built, that's professional, right? And then the professional shop should be the one to stop, but they don't. So let me show you. Here, we have this is a factory MaxDIN harness. This is what plugs into your system. And if you don't have Bose, you're just gonna connect this little thing together, and that's it. This is how simple this is. Back of the unit, down in the bottom, has some colored wires, plugs into your car. This goes into the top back of the unit. That's it. That's all you need. If you don't have Bose, this is connected, right? If you have Bose, this is where the little red box goes, in between these wires right here. That's it. Plug in your HVAC, plug in your heated seats, put it in, done. Okay. That's what it should look like, right? Okay, see? Okay. Here's what a pro shop does. See these two wires? They don't come on the harness. No, a pro shop says, well, we just got to send some power to it. We got to make it work our way. We're gonna take some stuff from the ignition. We're gonna take some grounds from over here. We're gonna add our own wiring. And that's what they do. And so in the process, they fry units. So the reason this is happening is because universal radios and radios, this is not a radio, it's a integrated control unit that has a radio function and an HVAC function and a heated seat function. It's a multi-layered piece of equipment. They are stabbing power where they think. And so there's multiple reasons this is a bad idea, because number one, there are supply shortages still, and there are manufacturing companies, that make harnesses, okay? So these companies that have these units, they have a company, they don't make everything, right? They might manufacture or assemble the unit, but they don't make the harness. The harness comes from another company. And these companies, if they run into shortages, they're not always going to use same colored wires, especially since the C19 thing happened. There were shortages of certain colors of wires. So just having a shop blindly stab power into things because it's red, unless you're talking like mil-spec wiring to where it's, you've got a power, a ground, and a data line that's made to be troubleshot in that manner, then it's predictable. But in this case, you can't just assume red wires are power wires. You're not going to just start stabbing into things on your car and just sending power if your car doesn't start, unless you really know the system. And these guys don't know the unit. They don't know what they're handling. So I can tell you factually, the main issue that's causing all this is, one, the guys take the red box, and there's a red box here, and they plug this into it. And this is bringing power to the red box. That is wrong. And they also don't plug in the HVAC, and the unit doesn't turn on. If the HVAC plugs aren't plugged in, i.e. if you don't plug everything in you're supposed to, it doesn't work. So, they're like, oh, it's not coming on, I'm going to send power, do this stuff. So all I'm saying, guys, is be careful and be sure to make your installer look at the install guide. That's it. That's all it comes down to. If they're having any issues, if it's not turning on, if the HVAC isn't turning on, if they're having any control problems, they wired it wrong. They put it in wrong. And so that's all there is to it. Every one of these are bench tested extensively. Everything is tested. We have had one unit that has factually had something happen between the time it left the manufacturer, came through me, went to the customer, something happened, and there's still a possibility, there's a variable there that I don't know about. So other than that, these are 100% verified, good, tested, gone through all the cycles, all the HVAC is tested on every single one. So if it's not turning on or something is not working right, it is going to be the install. And I'm telling you right now, every single one of them tells me I'm wrong. They say, you know, get that idiot off the phone and get the IT person for the company on the line. That's what they're used to dealing with. They call some tech support for Kenwood, which is a contracted company of $11.50 an hour guys, if you're lucky, that have been trained, you know, for a day on how to like go through their troubleshooting based on some manual they have on a computer. This situation, when they're talking to me, they're talking to the only guy that's going to help them with this unit, and I think I know what's wrong. So be very careful. If you install this, I'm telling you, you're better off. Just take, you know, pop your console off, take your radio out, take your HVAC out, plug in this unit, and put it back, and that's it. Obviously, running cameras, stuff like that, I understand why people want to go to a pro shop, but for God's sake, don't let them send power to it. Is the moment they start taking out tools to start stabbing and troubleshooting, stop. Call me, email me, get me on the phone. Don't let them go any further, because they're going to destroy your unit, and I'm going to be stuck replacing it. So, because I'm doing that. Honestly, when I get something like this, hey, that's breach of warranty. You know what I mean? That should be, but I'm not hanging this guy out to dry. I'll just eat it. Because this is a lot of work. I'm one guy. I should put more documentation. I'm working on that, and I have an install video that solves these things for the most part, but not as much as you think. And I know some of you guys may think, oh, that's it. No, I've dealt with this with the headlights on the C5s. Again, shade tree, oak tree guys that are scared of what they're doing put in the headlights better than shops. I had one guy take these sleepy eyes, and you guys out there, C5, if you've got the sleepy eyes, you know I've got the most comprehensive video on those things, revised 4 times. This guy went to a shop that's big on Lamborghinis and Maserati, and I'm like, oh God, here we go. Oh no, this guy, they work on Audis and Lamborghinis and Ferraris, and I know the owner, he's a billionaire, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, good. Well, the issue is the guy he has working on your car is just some random other guy who lives in the area making whatever he's making per hour. It does not make a difference. I don't care if you're a Ferrari tech. I don't care. You have to follow the directions or you're going to get something wrong. So they ended up telling him, oh, this kit's designed all wrong. The stops don't even work. They redesigned the stops. They fabricated stuff. In the end, his kit didn't sit right. It didn't look right. And they charged him $850 to install it and said they cut him a deal. So I'm telling you guys, the pros are the ones you have to worry about. That's just the bottom line. I own shops, and I can tell you right now, the difficulty in being a shop owner is you have the skill, me, to open a shop, right? And I do these things based on my expertise. But the moment I start hiring guys in, I don't know their history. I don't know how good they are at things. So it really comes down on me as an owner and a supervisor to check their work and to be watching what they're doing. But a lot of times, I've had shops where you have a bunch of guys, you can't do that. You have to rely on their resume. And on their resume, they're going to tell you they're the baddest dude you ever hired. And baddest, it depends on how you term it, because trust me, I've had a pro painter, a guy who was PPG certified, and he would free pour like he was a bartender. It didn't count. Oh yeah, I don't even need cups. I can mix paint. He's melting the paint off of a Porsche we were doing. Back in the day for the Porsche Club of America, we were doing this Panamera with this kid. He was melting the paint off of it. I said, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" "Oh, I was running it a little hot. I'm running a little hot." So all this terminology. Hey, look, I ain't PPG certified. Sure, buddy. Paint away. That's what I hired you to do. Painted it 4 times. So, and frankly, in the end, didn't match. Still looked like shit. So, a little sneak peek at, this is the newest version prototype for C5, and I'm going to be doing a video on this probably the rest of maybe tonight and then into tomorrow. We have a new mounting that we're going to use. It's going to kind of pinch it, and so I'm going to be kind of testing that, because we were just using these retainer click ends, and I was a little worried about retention. And you can see this is all different now. So this is all much, I'll compare it in the next video. You'll see how much different all this is. This is much more refined at this point. And we made this out of metal casing, just kind of shaped over that, a different board. And things are a lot more cohesive and simple. The one thing we're having issues is just reaching up into here, because you can see on the difference on the C5 unit is it kind of goes very deep into the dash. So we have a little bit of an issue reaching up here. So that's something I'm looking into. We might need a harness extension. So, but I'll talk about that in the upcoming C5 MaxDIN video. If a shop that you're working with has any kind of issue, or you have an issue, don't send power to the thing. Don't experiment. You know what I mean? Just get a hold of me. These shops are not used to these units like that have HVAC integrated and things like that. So they're, as much as they think they are familiar, they are not familiar. So do not let them put power to it under any circumstances. They will fry your unit. Catch you on the next one.